The Emoji Movie is directed by Tony Leondis, whatever, and stars T.J. Miller, James Corden, Anna Faris, Maya Rudolph, Stephen Wright, Jennifer Coolidge, Christina Aguilera, Sofia Vergara, Sean Hayes, and Patrick Stewart, and is the story of Jean, a meh emoji who, for some reason, can show multiple emotions other than just meh. And when the other emojis find out, he becomes a fugitive, forced to run for his life in an attempt to be reprogrammed into a normal meh emoji. Yeah, that's the plot. Okay, so I heard about this movie in 2016 sometime, and immediately thought many things, chief among them being, how is Sony's video game division coming up with better stories than their fucking film division? And that fruit's hanging so low that it is touching the tip of a dog turd, but Sony still wants to make a fruit salad out of it, etc, etc. I know many critics who've thought the same, I'm sure as fuck don't blame them, and while declaring the existence of this movie as the death of big-budget films forever as wading knee-deep in pretentious drivel, one can't help but see the title and think to themselves, how have we, as a species, sunk so low? Nevertheless, ever since the Lego Movie turned out to be really, really good, instead of being a multi-million dollar ad for Lego, I give these obvious corporate whore movies a chance, and was walking into the Emoji Movie with the tiniest bit of hope there'll be another case like the Lego Movie. Oh, they made Christina Aguilera voice an ad for Just Dance. Never mind, everyone, go back to being grown men with detailed Lego sets. So just in case the thousands of other critics declaring this is the worst animated movie of all time, as they usually do, aren't enough already, let's just add this review to the pile. I guess we might as well start with the plot, but just in case you couldn't guess the obvious message to the kids from the synopsis, then well done, because you're probably of an age where you probably don't know what an emoji is, in which case, stop watching my reviews, Dad. Just in case you are of such an age, I won't spoil it, but the rest of the plot was nearly as predictable too. In fact, you can watch the Emoji Movie without having to pay real money for it, like I did. Just watch Wreck-It Ralph and get a pro animator to change all the characters to emojis for you, or you could just use your imagination, you stupid bellend. I'm not joking, this movie quite literally has the exact same plot as Wreck-It Ralph, down to a T. Characters live in a virtual world where they can freely move around to other worlds and environments. Main character is hated on by his peers, decides he isn't happy with who he is and goes on an adventure to change himself, screwing up the virtual world in the process, putting it at risk of deletion, and he will inevitably be the one who has to sort it all out. Except for whatever pointless reason, an attempt is made to slightly flesh out the real world as well, with the owner of the phone, Alex, being really shy about talking to his crush, Addie, and yet he somehow has her number and wants to send her something confessing his love, and Jean makes the wrong face, and stop! The amount of plot holes in a side plot taking up maybe a total of 7 minutes of movie time is impressive enough, but when you can't even give it any reason to exist at all beyond, ooh, Wreck-It Ralph did it, then you aren't a writer. You're someone slaving away at the command of the higher-ups for no artistic reason. There's also another pointless subplot about Jean's parents. Yeah, I guess emojis have parents, and how they might be splitting up because, trauma? I don't know, because the film shows them walking in opposite directions for no goddamn reason. Then the next scene of them is when they find each other in an Instagram photo of France, and realise what we already knew. They were fighting over literally fucking nothing! And yes, I did say an Instagram photo, it couldn't have just been a photo on Alex's camera, because this movie had to have been, like, at 3/4 of the funding had to have been from all their brand deals. Like I said before, they fall into Just Dance and need to dance their way out. There's an overhead shot of all the apps on Alex's phone, and my eyes scan them wondering just how much of this film's budget went to the sponsor deals, and how much of that was then used to fund the damn thing. There's an entire fucking scene where they fall into Candy Crush and have to play the game to get out of the game. The product placement this egregious is bad enough, but when you consider that anyone young enough to get enjoyment out of this crap is most definitely too young to own a phone in the first place, then what even is the point of all this garbage? And the writing. The writing. So because I'm feeling lazy and I'm just going to give you examples, because if professional writers in Hollywood can get away with this shit, then fuck you and the horse you rode in on, so do I. Emojis are the most important form of communication ever invented. I mean, yeah, just fuck the phone, you know, the only reason you... It's only the form of communication that's the only reason you exist in the first place, you entitled little yellow shit. I like that you're one of those guys who can express themselves. At that point, I started wondering if this was all just parody. Like my generation just relies so much on these shitting yellow bastards to express themselves, and no, it's just wank. I was wrong, Gene. I should have believed you all along. I mean, did Tommy Wiseau write some of this? Like, really? Who let Tommy Wiseau write a line? Oh, I need to calm down. Okay, so, is there anything good about this movie? Well, yes, surprisingly. Yeah, I know, surprised me too. But the best thing about it, by far, is the animation. Like, I really do feel bad for the very talented animators who slaved away to make this at least look good. Like, it looks great, I think. But you can polish a turd until it shines, and at the end of the day, you still have a turd. Speaking of which, and you all knew this was coming, when I decided on the title, Patrick Stewart is a piece of shit, for this review, I was being 100% deadly fucking serious. Because Sir Patrick Stewart, as the credits gleefully reminded me, is in this movie. And he voices the poop emoji. Henceforth, I now enjoy the right to say whenever and wherever I want that Patrick Stewart is a piece of shit, and no one can argue with me. That's the best thing I got out of this movie. Like, seriously. As for the other voice actors, they range from decent to completely forgettable. Maya Rudolph as Smiler, the villain, she was kind of a standout for me, as well as James Corden as High Five. I thought that he's very clearly only there to be the goofy sidekick. But I did think he did a decent enough job. You know, he was probably the closest the film came to being funny. It's hard to tell, but yeah. I mean, I won't say it's completely unfunny. There were a few gags that at least maybe crack a small smile. Never a laugh, but there's that. And being the pompous prick that I am, because I do reviews now, I often pride myself on being the smartest person in the theatre. You know, so I was at least expecting the kids in the theatre to be laughing, but it was dead silent throughout, except for one or two instances. I heard a few laughs, and once I was done searching the theatre for the laughter and making sure that those people would never laugh again, I sat back down and continued my own torture. And it's just, to conclude, no, I think the cries of worst movie ever and its current standing at number 25 with a rating of 2 on IMDb's bottom 100 list are a bit excessive. You know, I cannot deny the utterly toxic core of the Emoji Movie, the blatant disregard Hollywood often has for its audience, with some of the most shameful product placement I've ever seen. And this film will, I think, forever stand as a shining example of how clueless and contemptuous Hollywood so often is, and it's doomed to be remembered for nothing else. Except Patrick Stewart literally being a piece of shit. I'm going to give the Emoji Movie a 3 out of 10. So guys, let me know, have you seen the Emoji Movie? If so, then I feel bad for you. But let me know what you think about it. I don't think I'll see anything different to what I've said here, but... Or, so we can have a slightly more interesting topic, what is the worst animated movie you've ever seen? Thanks for watching, see you next time, and have a good one. Don't go see this, don't go spend money on it like I did. I'm an idiot.